Members of the three political parties converged outside Parliament today, Thursday, March 4th, one in support of the government and the other two against the Unity Labour Party. Leader of the opposition, Arnim Eustace, who was met with cheers from his supporters gathered outside of the Kingstown Vegetable Market, said that the New Democratic Party has a few issues with how the country is being run, and in his opinion, the government is moving towards a type of dictatorship as they try to stifle people's right to speak.
We want to ensure that we remain in a free society, that this country remains a democracy. We are moving more and more to dictatorship as they try to stifle people's right to speak. And that is the reason for all these lawsuits, 19 of them so far, that we have in here in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And we have to put a stop to that. And the only way to do that is to remove the present government of St. Vincent and Grenadines.
Eustace also commented on other issues, including the suspension of Anicia Batiste and rumors of her contesting the next general election on an NDP ticket.
She has a right of freedom of speech. The bill that muzzled civil servants from going on the platform was repealed in 2005. It no longer applies. Okay? And we feel that whatever those persons who were on the platform with the yes vote, none of them have been charged. Why should she be charged?
Members of the ruling Unity Labour Party who were stationed on the opposite side of the road came out to show their support for the government and the direction in which they are taking the country. Among them was Luke Brown, the candidate chosen by the ULP to contest the next general election against opposition leader Arnim Eustace, representative of East Kingstown.
I think it's important that we show solidarity with the government at this time. I believe that the government has performed well, and there may be some cases where there wasn't enough focus on making sure that you maintain these solid relationships that we have with people in the communities. And right now I think that we're redoubling our efforts to reach out to them and to make sure that whatever is done is really intended for their benefit. It's one thing to develop the infrastructure, and it's another thing to build meaningful relationships with people. Because more important than anything else is the connection that you have with individuals, because that's how you find out what there is to be done in the villages and the communities.
President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Angus Steele, is of the opinion that youth unemployment continues to plague our country and something must be done. Steele, who is also the country manager at Lime, said that governments will always consider innovative ideas to help deal with unemployment, but eradication of youth unemployment requires the partnership effort of the government, the private sector, and civil society. He went on to say that small businesses are the backbone of economic activity, and anything that can be done to stimulate the creation and development of small businesses must be good news for the economy and for jobs, especially in the current environment of global financial turmoil. Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Arnim Eustace, said Wednesday that Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has sued a total of 19 persons. Speaking at the NDP's launch of their pre-election campaign at Democrat House in Richmond Hill, Eustace told the gathering that Prime Minister Gonsalves sues to avoid critical questions. Eustace said that ours is a Prime Minister who constantly hides behind the threat of legal action to suppress those with views with which he does not agree. Eustace stressed, and I quote, "These critical questions will continue to haunt you. The questions will not go away."
We have asked you to explain the US $1 million deposited in the account of the Accountant General at the National Commercial Bank. With your typical contempt and bombastic arrogance, you refuse to answer. But the people want to know.
Last Friday, in their continued effort to help earthquake victims in Haiti, the local staff at Digicel held a wig day, which was aimed at raising funds to be sent to the earthquake-ravaged country. Members of staff wore wigs while carrying out their everyday tasks. The wigs were used as a sensitization strategy as persons were asked to make a donation to the Haitians. Marketing manager at Digicel, Juno Darache, explained that the wig day was one way of reminding persons that Haiti still needs our help. She said that Digicel offices throughout the Caribbean did something of that nature on Friday as part of the company's continued efforts to add to what Digicel as a corporate entity has done so far. In what seems like a scene from a horror film, 2 passengers aboard a cruise ship were killed when 26-foot waves crashed into the vessel Wednesday. As many as 14 others were injured. The vessel, the Louis Majesty, was off the French port of Marseille when it was hit by abnormal waves, some more than 26 feet high, cruise line spokesman Michael Maratheftis said. 5 windows in public areas were smashed and 2 passengers, a German and an Italian, were killed. 14 others were treated for light injuries. The ship had 1,350 passengers and 580 crew on board. Buoy data off the French coast indicated that weather was the likely cause of the high waves. Winds were at 45 miles per hour at that buoy. And now in sports, Macclefield's Keith Alexander, one of the few black managers in English football, has died. He was 53 years old. Macclefield said Alexander was found at his home Wednesday, a day after his team's 1-0 loss at Notts County in League 2. The cause of his death was not revealed, but Alexander, who led Lincoln to the playoffs in 4 seasons in a row, had been ill on various occasions since he had a cerebral aneurysm in November 2003. The Football Association announced that England's players will wear black armbands as a mark of respect in Wednesday's friendly against Egypt at Wembley Stadium. This has been your IKtv News Update. I'm Lafern Fraser. Thanks for watching.